If you're in the SAP process and you're wondering about step 5, which is the return to duty test, I'm going to walk you through it clearly so you know exactly what to expect. If we haven't met, I'm Cindy. I'm a DOT-Qualified SAP, and I help CDL drivers as well as other safety-sensitive employees understand the SAP process. For CDL drivers, understand the clearinghouse, complete their steps, and safely get back to work. So everything I share is from DOT regulations, and my goal is to help you make the process easier for you and less stressful. So before we dive in though, down in the description box, I linked my link tree, and over there you'll find some free resources as well as some paid things that can help you understand the process. I kind of created them to help you out. So step 5 in the clearinghouse is the return to duty test. This is a DOT regulated test. It's a 5-panel urine drug test. It's observed. That means someone of the same gender will go into the bathroom with you. And the most important thing, it must be negative. This test is how DOT determines whether you're safe to return to safety-sensitive work after completing your SAP's recommendations. Now, when are you allowed to take that test? You're only allowed to take the return to duty test after completing all your SAP's recommended education or treatment. You will meet with the SAP for a follow-up meeting. That kind of generates the return to duty eligibility paperwork. And then the SAP will have you sign a release of information form to forward it to your employer or CTPA, which is a consortium. If you're hiring them, that's a private company to do your return to duty test. You can't take the test early or skip steps. Your SAP is your guide. They will help you and help you understand what the next process is. But this return to duty test must go through an employer or a CTPA consortium. So here's what happens after you take that test. The lab processes the test. It typically takes about 3 to 5 business days for the negative result to come back to your employer or your CTPA consortium. They will update your clearinghouse step 5, right? They have 3 business days to complete that, but you'll see a check mark in step 5, so you'll know step 5 has been completed. And then they will start implementing, or your employer will start implementing your follow-up testing plan. If you don't have an employer, that's okay. The consortium can't do follow-up testing for you unless you are an owner-operator. But the follow-up testing will start once you get back into safety-sensitive work with the employer. So that's why I always recommend save your SAP's number, because you're going to be connected with them for a bit. Now, here's what happens if you fail your return to duty test. I get this question a lot, and it happens pretty frequently, not super frequently, but every now and then. So if your return to duty tests positive or is marked as a refusal, the MRO at the lab, the medical review officer, will put a second violation in the clearinghouse, and they will send you back through the SAP process. So that means another assessment, more education or treatment. Typically it's treatment at that point. If someone's tests on a return to duty test, you'll go take care of that. You'll meet back with the SAP for the follow-up, and that'll generate a second set of return to duty eligibility paperwork to send you back to the return to duty test to try again. It doesn't mean your career's over. You know, drivers come back from this all the time, but it does mean you have to start your SAP steps over again. So that's why if your SAP is recommending you go take a non-DOT drug test as part of the initial recommendation, it's to make sure your system is clear, because that return to duty test must be negative. So the return to duty test is simply DOT's way of confirming that you're safe and ready to return to safety-sensitive work. It isn't mean to scare you or punish you. It's part of the process to help you stay on track, protect your license, and move forward with confidence. So once you pass step 5, you're officially cleared to drive again, unless you got a letter from your state motor vehicle. If you got that letter, talk about a downgrade, right? That started in November 2024. In that letter, there will be a due date. If it's before the due date, you don't have to worry about DMV. Your CDL won't get downgraded. Let's say you finish the SAP after that due date. You need to go down to motor vehicle, and they will charge you a reinstatement fee to make your CDL active again. So that's really important to make sure they have your updated address in case, so you get this letter. And I always encourage drivers to check with DMV prior to getting back on the road, just to make sure. Now, if you need some extra help understanding the process or you want to stay organized, you can check out the link in the description. That'll take you to the link tree. There's a lot of good stuff over there, free and paid resources. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to drop a comment on a video or send me a message, or you can give me a call and I will respond to you and try to do my best to answer the question for you. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel, because I'm trying to make videos once a week explaining the process a little clearer so you know exactly how to get through the SAP and get back to work. You got this. You can get through this. So just hang in there.